Well, welcome back. Actually, I think the history of the Eiffel Tower is quite interesting and fun. Being a dream project that was bandied about by a few different architects, finalizing with this one man who created it to be a temporary structure, hated by the people at the time, only to be turned into, I guess, the world's most popular tourist site. I didn't know that.
But, I didn't know they hated it at first.
Yeah, it was controversial. I can't say like it was like hated by everyone, but it was like, oh, that's kind of ugly type idea. However, if you do look at the other plans that were thought of at that time, this was the better of the few. Like I saw with some of the other ones, I was like, oh no. Anyway, so it does go through the history of the article a little bit. People did think it was hideous at first, but this hideous architecture actually was really good at putting, like, really good for antennas and putting different sort of things on their radio, phone, so that they could actually communicate, and it became a utility rather than an attraction at first, after it was temporary. And then over time, it gained all this popularity, and now it's an icon that could never be taken down, and probably will never, because it's just pure, like, I don't know if it's iron or steel, but it's pure something. It's not going to fall down easily.
Yeah, I think it's steel.
Anyways, the other half of the article, though, is about my people. And my people can be considered as a stereotype in France to be a bit loud, not fashionable, which I kind of agree with, and putting ketchup on things that shouldn't be put like ketchup on.
Yes.
I do agree that French fries is okay, even though I think they call them fries there, right? Pommes frites.
Pommes frites, yeah.
Anyways, however, the stereotype was kind of pushed even further by a couple, or a few people, I think it was just a couple, who decided to do the other stereotype of Americans drinking too much. And they did that, entered the Eiffel Tower at almost closing time, somehow evaded the guards, and fell asleep, only to be found in the morning, passed out drunk. I do hope this doesn't hurt the image of Americans too much, but it only takes one story like this to ruin people's idea of American tourists for a long time. Get your act together, guys. You don't have to go drinking all over the place.
America is a big country, you know. Surely you can't all be like that.
Surely, but man, sometimes when I meet Americans in Korea too, I'm like, you gotta calm yourself down, people. Like, come on. But that was true in America too. Like I had a lot of people I knew who were just too loud, drunk a lot, and it's just like, you gotta calm yourself down. Yeah. Hey, you be you, but respect others. It says, how long ago did you see an image of it? We're putting that question away. I want to hear your story.
Well, I will always remember my visit to the Eiffel Tower, because I mentioned I went there on a sort of romantic getaway that ended up not being that romantic. But the Eiffel Tower was pretty cool when I got there, and we wanted to go all the way up to the top. And you could do it back then. This was more than 10 years ago, more like 17 years ago, a long time. Anyway, so to get to the middle stage, it's quite easy. There's big lifts and it's very open. But then to get right up to the top, you have to get into a very small elevator, and it's got glass sides, and you know, it's corrugated metal structure, so you can see out all over Paris as you're going up in the elevator. I thought this was beautiful. We're like, oh, wow, look at the view. My boyfriend, who's standing behind me, I can feel his fingers like digging into my shoulders. I was like, are you okay, honey? And he was like, no. And he'd got terrible vertigo, and he hadn't really realized he was going to feel so bad. And he absolutely freaked out. When we got out of the elevator, he was glued to the back wall. He wouldn't go anywhere near the very well guarded, lookout.
Doesn't matter.
But yeah, he was terrified. It was a little bit shaky. You can tell it's really old, the Eiffel Tower.
Glass.
Or plastic or something.
I mean, like see-through.
Gosh. It was open.
I'm like getting scared just thinking about it. I could probably get to the first level if I forced myself to. But anything above that, man.
No, you're not into heights.
I work at the 19th floor, And if I look out a window like this, if I'm this far away, fine. If I go like this, immediate vertigo.
Oh, I see. Oh, I like a bit of
Hey,
that.
how tall is the Eiffel Tower?
I was ready for it not to be that big because people are like, oh, lower your expectations, it's not that big. And compared to, these mega structures like Jamshid Tower and the modern, it's not that big. But when I got there, I was like, oh, wow, it is quite big.
Yeah. It feels like it would be wider in person too.
Yeah, the footprint is wide.
Do you understand after visiting why it's become the most popular or most visited paid tourist attraction?
I think so, because it's massive on a sort of 19th century massive scale. Like for its era and considering how long it's been there and its history and so on, it is huge for the day. So I think that's probably why it's so famous and so well visited. It's like the original big tower that people used to visit.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
the first.
Word of mouth too. That romantic ride up to the top.
Yes, another reason it wasn't.
Oh, yeah. Anyways.
There are better tourist attractions, even in Paris. I mean, that's just a tower, I'd rather go to the Louvre if you ask me.
Yeah,
See some art.
absolutely. That's what I would like to do. If I went to Paris, I'd try to stay away from like the real big tourist areas and try to find the little things. Well, much to your chagrin and ours, we must end. Go ahead and check out the vocabulary when you can and try to memorize it, use it in your everyday life, and we'll see you in the next article. Bye.
Ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous.
Pylon.
Pylon.
Hideous.
Hideous.
Chagrin.
Chagrin.
Dead giveaway.
Dead giveaway.